Hello and welcome back. Man, I just love the feel of these guys. I feel really connected today. I've been whining about not feeling connected. There are things in the book, actually, that say you're supposed to be. You're not supposed to, but you make friends with your decks. You bond. You build bonds with your decks, your cards. Now, see, that always freaked me out as a kid because I was taught, just like in a Ouija board, tarot cards speak with spirits, and some people use them to talk with dead spirits and mediums, and I'm sure they can be used for that. Contact the other side. However, that's not what I'm using them for. When I first bought this deck, I actually felt it calling to me. I felt energized, like I was getting hit with batteries. Now, I don't know if it's just like a calm. Maybe I disconnected myself. Maybe I can sit here and overthink all I want. But today I'm getting the tinglies. I'm touching them and I'm getting the tinglies, so we're gonna do this. I don't know if I have a particular question for you. I guess only the highest vibrations, and for my best intentions, for the greatest good. That's the part I was always worried about, is bad spirits getting through the cards, bad energies. So I only welcome the highest good, highest vibrations. Would you please, I ask that you show me whatever you want me to see. What is for my highest good right now? I'm not even gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna start pulling cards. Ah, voice. Well, that's what's funny. I'm slowly getting my voice back, as you can see on the card. Using your voice is very important. I've said this in a couple of videos, and I always hate repeating myself. Because it's one of those, like whenever I watch anime, and it shows you the first 5 seconds of the last episode, it always bugged me, because it's like, dude, I've been binging this. I know what happened in the last episode. I've also always really had a good memory for things that interest me. So now, when I repeat myself in other videos, it's like, yo, dude, I said that in the last 6 videos. Become original, but I'm sure there are those who do not binge my videos like I do. I don't binge my videos. I'm just saying. Yeah, I do. I feel like I talk too much some days. But growing up, I live with very narcissistic families. I don't know who hasn't these days. And I was always told to be quiet, stop spazzing out, stop being annoying. And I learned never to tell the truth. Because no matter what, I was going to get in trouble anyways. When I told the truth, they didn't believe the truth. They always told me I was lying anyways. So eventually it got to the point I just stopped talking. Same thing with jobs. I've always and will forever be a very blunt person. So when I tell people stuff, I either F up my words or I don't say what I mean to say and it gets me in trouble, or people just don't want to hear what I have to say. So, not just in my kid years, in my adult life, I just learned to be quiet, to stop using my voice. I actually blocked off the chakra and everything. But use it. It's okay. It's safe. You're safe. You're safe. It's okay. Express your voice. Use your voice. Even if people don't want to hear it. My ego part of me was always like, well, and this could also be true, but they get mad or upset because of the truth. Like, for instance, if Say somebody's self-conscious and wears a outfit that they like, but subconsciously they feel like it's ugly. And if someone actually vocalizes that, yeah, hey, I don't really like your outfit, it will upset them. It's very obvious. But I've always thought about psychiatry in that sense of their job is to tell you the truth if you can. Obviously, you can't just send people into psychokinetic shocks or whatever from being a little too blunt. But my parents would come home. This is a whole separate topic, but they would come home and yell at each other, saying, "Well, you need to work on this." So the doctor, the psychiatrist would actually be like, "Yeah, work on these." Because I feel like this is the truth, the root is what they're trying to get to, hopefully. And it hurts. Even if it's for yourself. Seeing the truth of your own situation sucks. But listen to it. Listen to that inner voice too. Not the one that's telling you to go jump off a bridge. But not even so much as a positive. Listen to the inner voice in general and see where it's coming from. Not to judge it. But mine, for instance, like one day something will happen and it flares up and the ego's like, oh man, that person's kind of sucks. Listen to that voice because it's like, whoa, where's that coming from? I can analyze it, I can realize, I can think, try not to think. Kind of all over the place here. What would you like me to see? I'm gonna contemplate. I'm gonna look at the book. What do you have to say? My voice is important. I speak my truth. I use my voice. I speak what needs to be spoken. Okay, kind of what I was saying. So you can be honest, but you don't have to be hurtful. Speak your truth, even if you feel like it's going to upset people. I'd say in the best way, do it in a non-judgmental way if you can. But don't beat yourself up if you do. Kind of what my video's been about, my whole series. Trying to use my voice. Of course, everybody wants to live a life where they don't have to work. Hey, that'd be great if I could post YouTube videos and make tons of money off of it. You know, hey, who doesn't dream about that? But what mainly inspired me is other YouTubers for tarot reading. Were saying I'm also supposed to be one of those ones who lived through, a bunch of crap. And what you get from time and experience is wisdom. So I'm not just being told, I'm being guided to offer what wisdom I can. But I try to do it from a part of, I'm not this perfect person. Look at me, I have all the answers. No, I'm healing and going through shit just like you. And hopefully, me learning the hard way can help bypass some of the work for you. Now, work always needs to be done. Whatever I teach you will not substitute the work you need to do. But hopefully, it can help. Thought number 2. Well, I didn't even read that one. I read like a small chapter. I didn't even read a chapter. A ritual you can do. What stories, feedback have I been told about my voice? Where do I hold back from speaking my voice of truth? What is seeking expression through me right now? I didn't even think about that. And then, what fears do you have about it? Fear is coming right back up. You can kind of see in the top. People whispering into their ears, feeding them fear. I've always had a damaged vocal cord, ever since I was a kid. So I've always had to talk louder if people want to hear me. I have a very soft voice. Very soft. In fact, when I'm at work, it's pretty monotone. It's pretty monotone and blah. Here, I actually give a little more excitement, a little more hey, a little more energy. And it's not fake energy either. Eh, it's not. So, wait, hold on. Brain fart. What kind of fear follows that? What kind of fear is stopping you or letting you, holding you from using your voice? Or is fear holding you back in general? Because I know it does for me more than I'd like to admit. That's the other thing. Fear in general has stopped me from doing a lot. Um, Making friends, being myself. But one of my favorite things is both fear and love are just energy. I laugh at myself sometimes in a good way. When I let fear take over, like for instance, if I still get afraid of asking someone out in a non judgmental way, it's like, bro, really? Why are you scared of that? There's nothing to be afraid of. But look at your fears as a mirror. For instance, I'm afraid of heights. That's because I remember being in very, very high places and some kind of weird balance that's just like, oh my god, freaks me out. I always feel like I'm gonna fall over the edge. Maybe that one necessarily isn't trauma related. Maybe it is. But look at your fears and whether or not there actually is a place they're coming from. You can either try to solve it like it's a riddle. Say, oh, well, maybe by finding the source of this fear, I can get over it. Or, if it works for you, just alchemize it. Like, right, fear is just energy. I love the saying, fear is the mind killer from Dune. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that causes total obliteration. I will face my fear. Ah, I almost have it memorized. I will take the inner eye. Fudge. Alright, well, I would have to look that up later, but don't let it control you. And you know what's funny? Is the hand is actually kind of holding on their heart slash throat. It's in between. But the fear is gripping you in the chest and stopping you, possibly from speaking your truth. Even if it hurts, even if it's scary, you're gonna have to. And I know maybe it won't even give you the perfect outcome, the outcome you're hoping for. But I know you feel better. For instance, I had a friend that I would talk to at my last job. I've talked about him a few times in my videos. And I got to a point where I started talking to him like a friend. I would be honest with him. And he got mad. He would actually get mad at me. And I wasn't doing it in like a, hey, you're being an asshole kind of. No, it's like, hey man, you're not really being friendly. Or something I feel like happened made me think this way. It hurt. It hurt like hell. But speaking that truth made me realize that he actually was never a friend. Because of how he reacted when I told him the truth. I told him how I felt, I told him my feelings, I was honest. I was my true self in that moment. And he flipped the hell out. If I had let fear stop me, I would actually still be in an abusive friendship. I know it sucks. But I feel better, even if there's still pain. I feel better saying it because then I would have had the pain of not being myself and not being honest and tucking down feelings when in reality I don't even really want to be around that dude, you know? I keep going off random tangents. Let's pull the next card. Courage. Wow, you guys are just lining them up for me. Voice, fear, and courage. Well, you get around that fear boat, or the river of fear, in your courage boat. I'm just thinking of this picture. That's what it's making me think of. In the river of fear, your boat is the courage. Being courageous to use your voice. Kind of like those videos you always see on the anti-bullying campaign. Kids getting bullied, and either the other kid has two options: walk away or use your voice to stand up for him, kind of thing. Sure, it's scary as hell. Absolutely always scary. In fact, I don't like telling people what I really feel or how I really think. Again, I've always learned that's a bad thing. I know it's not. But having the courage to actually speak up. I don't even know if you guys know that meme. I've been seeing it all over the place. So, yo, dude, you seem to be like a quiet dude. Why did you marry someone as loud and kind of obnoxious as your wife? And the reply is, someone has to tell him I didn't order a salad. Well, that's very applicable here. For instance, I know I say yes a lot when I shouldn't, or when I don't feel like it. Using your voice is setting boundaries too. Like, for a while, when I worked one of my last jobs, even if I didn't feel like it, I would always say yes, taking extra shifts. Because I didn't have the courage to talk up to my boss. Because again, I was taught always do what's best for the company, by my family. It's like, just shut up, go in, do your job, and leave. Don't talk back, don't speak your mind, don't make any ripples, don't make any waves. So I would always accept all the shifts of my manager gave me, which was a lot, because A, they knew I was reliable, B, people called out a lot. Oh wow, I was missing a card. There's literally one card in the bottom of the deck. Oh no, it's about to blow away. So I would never use my voice, and I would never use the courage to say no. I literally got to the point I burnt myself out. I'd burn myself out saying yes. In fact, I actually got to the point I was getting sick. One of the only ways I get sick is by overworking. I would work 3 or 4 10-hour shifts and just keep going. Like, I work 6 days a week. I was getting a shit ton of overtime, and I love the money, but I got to the point I finally look at him like, dude, I can't do this anymore. I had to speak up. I'm like, I can't do doubles anymore. I'm not willing to take any more after shifts. I'm done for a while. And it pissed him off. I feel like it made him not like me anymore. Because I wasn't as reliable. I wasn't willing to. So that was honestly what you would want to deem as a negative side effect or a negative outcome. But it was very necessary. So I got to a point I'm not willing to burn myself out for a company who doesn't give two F's about you. Well, that's where you gotta use your voice and set your boundaries. Let go of fear and take the courage. Maybe you're having issues asking someone out. Maybe you're having issues asking for a raise. Maybe you're afraid of asking for help. Whatever it is, do it. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Take the plunge. I think that's all I got. Then any other stuff gonna come out? Nope. I think that's about it. Okay, cool. I do miss my decks. I miss using them. I stopped using my nature's cards because they weren't just making any sense to me. But we'll see. I'll try to get back into it. Maybe I'll go get another deck. Who knows? Who knows? Anyways, y'all have a good day. Good night. Whatever it is.